Welcome to VSP News from Kolman's Corner. I'm your host, David A. Kolman, the editor of Fleet Maintenance Magazine, the only publication that is all maintenance, all vehicle classes, all the time. If you've been in and out of trucks over the past many years like I have, you've had to notice that trucks, especially heavy-duty models, are becoming more, shall we say, driver comfortable. But during a recent visit to the Paccar Technical Center in Mount Vernon, Washington, I learned that ergonomic design criteria to make workplaces more productive have become an integral part of truck design, particularly with cab interiors. Paccar's Dr. Stephen Yuntz, who heads up the ergonomic groups at the Paccar Technical Center, explains this development.
The discipline of ergonomics has become kind of a fundamental part of the design process. The user expectations of what a vehicle can do and who it can accommodate are growing to a higher and higher level. A lot of that is related to the just the quality expectation. We sort of benchmark ourselves not against other trucks but against luxury automobiles. We want the same experience that people are coming out of that automotive product to exist in the truck, because they're in that truck so much longer. There's no reason that it needs to be harder to use. It is a working tool, and we want that job to be easy.
Truck cabs and their interiors are now being designed to adapt to today's driver, and that driver typically has a lower level of mechanical aptitude than yesterday's truck drivers. Here again is Paccar's Yuntz.
Ergonomics is changing the way we're adapting to the varying drivers that we're getting in the field. So there's been changes in the level of expertise of the inset driver. We don't have the same level of mechanical aptitude that we had before in the entire driver population. So there's things like display systems that are telling the driver what to do in a maintenance warning, as opposed to a gauge that didn't have any warning indication zone in it. It was just a number. The driver needed to know mechanically what the systems were doing. Now we kind of tell them a little bit more information. All the way down to automated transmissions that are taking away some of the more challenging elements to learn to drive a North American truck and taking that out of the mix. So they're not as intimidating.
Also being taken into account when designing truck cabs is the ever-changing size and demographics of drivers.
Driver size demographics have also changed. There's something called secular growth. Every 10 years, the taller get taller by about a centimeter, and that's not slowing down. So trucks of the future always need to take into account that drivers will get larger over time. We're also gaining more girth in North America. The BMI has risen substantially, and the obesity problem is something that we're seeing in the driver population. So while we might design out to, let's say, a 95th percentile stature, somebody that's 6'4", let's say, we go beyond what's typical for weight. So we would design out to a 98th percentile or use somebody that's, we even test with people in the extremes beyond that, but certainly designing out to 320 pounds and testing beyond that is something we just have to do because the driver demographics are changing. There's also ethnicity changing elements that come up on board, language with moving towards icons instead of text so that the vehicles can be more international. And that's not just to sell in the States, but so the same vehicle can be used by anyone in different locales.
Paccar's Yuntz told me that truck designers are also investigating systems to prevent overloading the driver with too much information to prevent that driver from becoming too distracted. And I'm sure you would agree, information overload is something we all have to better deal with these days. Thank you for tuning in to VSP News from Kolman's Corner. I'm your host, David A. Kolman, the editor of Fleet Maintenance Magazine, the only publication that is all maintenance, all vehicle classes, all the time. If you want to keep up with goings-on in our industry daily, visit Fleet Maintenance Magazine online.